Okay, welcome to part two. Uh, this entire section focuses on pain points because we have to have a very deep understanding of the solutions that we offer. So we have to know the pain points that our prospects are going through currently, and we have to know them intimately because the bigger the struggle, the bigger the frustration, the more intense the challenge and the suffering of a pain point is, the more valuable our solution will be. So we want to be able to not just recognize pain points and talk about an expert of solving that one particular pain point, but we also want to have a really deep understanding so that we're recognized as the person to go through from that for that solution. And so I'm introducing the pain point section first because once we know that, then we know more about our branding and who we're going to be and what we're going to do for people, which is a lot of our messaging, whether we're talking in conversations or sharing our message in content. And then that helps us know who we're talking to, who our ideal prospect is. And we can't have anything operational as a business until we have something to offer. And so we're building up to creating our offer document, but we have to have deep knowledge and understanding of these three things first. So this is the introduction to the pain point enhancement and problem definition section. By the end of this section, you'll have 2 to 3 really powerful pain points, and you'll have really good understanding about how you are uniquely positioned to be the solution of those pain points for people. We're also going to talk deeply about the 3-layer pain framework. We're going to prioritize those pain points so that we know which one we're going to be focusing most of our messaging towards. I always tell people it's great if you can solve 100 problems, but if you're talking about 100 problems, all you do is water down your message, and maybe the people who have that one specific really horrible problem, they might see 10 pieces of your content, but it might be talking about 10 different problems. You want to focus first and foremost on the most powerful problem that is creating the most chaos in a person's life, the most suffering in a person's life, and you want to solve it. And then it's great if on the wayside they also discover that you can solve 40 other of their smaller problems. Anyway, we're going to work on developing specific language around those problems because one of the biggest issues that I see in the coaching industry or the consulting industry, no matter the niche, is lack of clarity in language and real general, non-specific, watered down communication. So we're going to fix all that, make sure that that's not your issue. Think about if everybody else is being vague and unclear, and go through and look at people in your friends lists who are coaches and look at their language. Do you know what they're talking about? Do you know how they can help you? It's great if people are being motivational, but if I've got a problem that's severe and causing me a ton of pain, a motivational quote is going to do this for me. It's just going to last for a second, but I'm scrolling. And so I'm just going to see 10 motivational quotes, but as soon as I stop scrolling, I'm still going to have that problem that's causing me all that pain. If I come across the person in my scrolling frenzy that speaks directly to me about the problem that I'm experiencing, I stop. I'm going to read that or listen to it. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to click on it and find out more. I'm going to start paying really close attention to that person. And eventually I'm going to start communicating with them and I'm going to want what they've got to share. And so you want to be that person, not just like a happy dance for a moment or a motivational quote for a moment, but they keep scrolling. And if they never see you again, they don't remember you. You want to be the person that speaks directly to people. So we're going to fix all that. The core philosophy behind all this is that people aren't just looking for solutions, but they're also looking for somebody that they can trust has the solution that's really going to work for them. Somebody that really understands them. Because today in traditional marketing, everybody's just meant to talk very, what would the word be? Like there's a lot of weight in the marketing field put on for just being very energetic and very like boisterous and making a lot of promises. It's kind of like selling snake oil. You'll just do anything for the sale. And people will get caught up in the energy, but it's also created a ton of buyer's remorse. And now buyers are more aware than ever that they have to be cautious. So when they see somebody that's coming across very authentically, speaking very clearly in specific terms about the issue that they are dealing with, they pay really close attention. And then if that person is consistent over time, they're going to really build a lot of trust and a lot of understanding about exactly what that person does. And then the messaging leads to sales. So we're not going to just talk about surface level problems, but we're going to create a complete pain landscape. And we're using the psychology of the pain, how people make decisions. So not all pains are created equal. Decision making follows a very predictable hierarchy. The first level is just going to be surface pain, and that's what they're going to tell you first. Something like, I just can't get clients, or people just don't seem to pay attention to what I've got to say. And these are more like obvious symptoms or functional problems that they're dealing with. They're what they'll say to friends. And we want to go to the next level, which is emotional pain, where whatever the surface level stuff is, this is what they're feeling inside, but they're not voicing to anybody. They're waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and feeling like a failure or feeling like an imposter and getting that knot in their stomach that they're failing and they feel horrible. And then we've even got another level of pain, which is identity, that literally threatens who they are. And this is talking about like, maybe I'm not cut out for this. I thought I was a really qualified coach or a really great yoga instructor, but maybe I'm just not charismatic and I'm not somebody that people respect, and I don't come across as genuine or smart, or maybe I'm just not a business owner or somebody that can be successful, something that's at identity level. And so we want to speak to the thing that they fear the most, that's deep within that pain. And there's a few ways to tell that this is really working when you're doing this type of messaging. And it has a lot to do with how people respond to you. And you'll find that it is really, really powerful when you start looking at things this way. So enough on my part talking about just an intro. We're going to jump right in. So click over to the next module and I will see you there.